Hi, I'm Atticus. You know that feeling when your whole world shifts in an instant? That's what happened to me last Tuesday at the Sunoco on Maple Drive. My wife Mia and I had stopped for gas on our way home from dinner with her business partner Marcus. It was supposed to be just another mundane pit stop. While Mia was in the convenience store grabbing coffee, I was pumping gas when this attendant, skinny guy, maybe 25, approached me. He glanced nervously toward the store before slipping me a folded piece of paper. "Sir, I think you should see this," he whispered, then walked away before I could respond. I unfolded the note. "Your wife has been stealing from elderly clients. Check the Fairview retirement accounts." I quickly stuffed it in my pocket as Mia approached with 2 cups. "Who was that?" she asked, handing me my coffee. "Just some guy asking for directions," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. Mia tilted her head slightly. "You look pale. Everything okay?" "Yeah, fine. Just tired from dinner." I forced a smile. "That new client Marcus brought in, what was her name again?" "Mrs. Fairview? From the retirement community?" Mia sipped her coffee. "Sweet old lady. Marcus says she's referring all her friends." My heart raced. "And you're handling their accounts personally?" "Of course. These clients need special attention. They're vulnerable, you know. Marcus finds them. I handle the paperwork." She checked her watch. "We should get going. I have an early meeting tomorrow." The drive home was silent. While Mia showered, I called Eliza, my oldest friend who worked at the bank where Mia's firm kept their accounts. "Eliza, it's Atticus. I need your help with something." "Atticus, it's nearly midnight. Is everything okay?" "No. I think Mia might be involved in something illegal at work." "Whoa, slow down. What are you talking about?" "Someone at a gas station gave me a note saying Mia's stealing from elderly clients. Something about Fairview retirement accounts." "That's a serious accusation," Eliza said. "What did Mia say when you asked her?" "I haven't. I wanted to see if there was any truth to it first." Smart move. Remember the Wilsons' divorce? Started with an anonymous tip that turned out to be completely false. "But what if it's true? What if she's—" "Hold on," Eliza interrupted. "Don't jump to conclusions. I can look into the accounts, but it'll take time." "How much time?" "I'll need at least until tomorrow afternoon. Come to my office around 5 after my last meeting." "Thanks, Eliza. I owe you." "Just promise me one thing," she said firmly. "Don't confront Mia until we know something concrete. False accusations can destroy a marriage faster than actual cheating. I promise." I ended the call just as Mia entered our bedroom. "Who were you talking to?" she asked, toweling her hair. "Just confirming a lunch meeting for tomorrow," I lied, feeling sick to my stomach. She smiled and leaned down to kiss my cheek. "Don't stay up too late, okay? Love you." "Love you too," I replied automatically, watching her walk away and wondering who she really was. The next morning, I found myself studying her as she prepared for work. The woman I'd been married to for 5 years. Was she capable of stealing from elderly people? The Mia I knew volunteered at animal shelters and cried during sad commercials. "You're staring," she said, adjusting her blazer. "Do I have something on my face?" "No, just admiring the view." She laughed. "Smooth talker, I'll be home late tonight. Quarterly review with Marcus." After she left, I called in sick to work and drove straight to the Sunoco. The same attendant was there, sweeping near the pumps. "Hey," I approached him. "I need to talk to you about that note." He looked around nervously. "Look, man, I probably shouldn't have—" "Please, it's important. I'm Atticus, by the way." "Derek," he said reluctantly. "My grandmother lives at Fairview. She showed me her statements. Money's missing, lots of it. Then I overheard your wife on the phone when she stopped here last week, talking about adjusting Mrs. Calloway's accounts before she noticed." "Mrs. Calloway? You're sure?" "Positive. My grandma's best friend. She's practically blind, trusts everyone." "Why didn't you go to the police?" Derek scuffed his shoe against the pavement. "I did. They said without evidence it was just hearsay. But I recognized your wife from the company photo on their website, and when I saw you together—" I nodded slowly. "Thanks, Derek. I'm going to figure this out. Just help my grandma get her money back, man. She's got nobody else." Eliza's office at First National Bank was immaculate, just like her. She closed the door behind me and motioned for me to sit down. "I found something," she said, voice lowered despite us being alone. "And it's not good, Atticus." My stomach dropped. "Tell me." "I checked the Fairview retirement accounts. There's a pattern of transfers, small enough not to trigger automatic alerts, but consistent. Money moves from the client's accounts to a holding account, then gets dispersed to several offshore accounts. And Mia's connected to this? Eliza pulled out several papers. These transactions all have her digital signature, and this, she slid a document across the desk, is a power of attorney form for Eleanor Calloway, dated 3 months ago. The signature doesn't match Mrs. Calloway's signature from 6 months earlier. I stared at the paper, mind racing. It's forged? It appears that way. And there are 15 similar cases I've found so far. I ran my hands through my hair. How much money are we talking about? Nearly $2 million? Jesus, I whispered. And Marcus, is he involved? Eliza nodded grimly. His signature is on some documents, but Mia's is on all of them. She's the common denominator. I need to talk to one of these clients. I thought you might say that. Eliza wrote an address on a sticky note. Eleanor Calloway, she's sharp as a tack despite what your wife might think. I took the note. Thanks, Eliza. I don't know what I'd do without you. Just be careful. If they realize you're onto them. I know. I'll be discreet. Eleanor Calloway lived in a modest apartment within the Fairview complex. When she opened the door, I was surprised by her alertness. This wasn't a confused elderly woman who could be easily manipulated. Mrs. Calloway, my name is Atticus. I'm Mia's husband, she finished, eyeing me suspiciously. I recognize you from the photos in her office. What brings you here? May I come in? It's about your accounts. She hesitated, then stepped aside. I suppose, though I was told all questions should go through Marcus or Mia directly. Inside, she offered me tea, which I politely declined. Mrs. Calloway, have you reviewed your financial statements recently? They send them monthly, but the print is so small. Mia assured me everything was in order. Would you mind if I looked at your most recent statement? Why? Is something wrong? Her voice sharpened with concern. I'm not sure yet. That's what I'm trying to determine. She studied me for a long moment before retrieving a folder. You're not here on behalf of the firm, are you? No, ma'am. I didn't think so. She handed me the folder. Something's off with those two. Last month, Marcus tried to get me to sign papers without my reading glasses. When I insisted on waiting until my nephew could review them, Mia became quite short with me. I scanned the statement, noting the discrepancies immediately. Mrs. Calloway, according to this, you've been making regular withdrawals of $5,000. What? That's preposterous. I haven't withdrawn anything significant in years. I showed her the line items. And here, a transfer authorizing them as your financial proxies with full access. I never signed that. Her hands trembled as she took the paper. My signature has a distinct loop on the C. This isn't it. Mrs. Calloway, I believe my wife and her partner have been stealing from you and other residents here. Her face hardened. Young man, what do you intend to do about this? Before I could answer, there was a knock at the door. Mrs. Calloway went to answer it, and I heard a familiar voice. Mrs. C, just checking in on you as promised, Marcus said cheerfully. Then his voice dropped. Is someone here with you? I stepped into view. Hello, Marcus. His smile faltered momentarily before returning, tighter than before. Atticus, what a surprise. Visiting our favorite client? Just having a nice chat about financial discrepancies. The color drained from his face. Financial, I think there must be some misunderstanding. Perhaps we should discuss this back at the office? I think we should discuss it right here, I countered, with Mrs. Calloway present. Marcus glanced between us. This is highly irregular. Client matters are confidential. Theft isn't a client matter. It's a crime, I replied evenly. That's a serious accusation, he said, voice hardening. Mia won't appreciate you interfering in company business. Oh, I imagine there are lots of things Mia won't appreciate me discovering. Marcus checked his watch with exaggerated casualness. I have another appointment. We'll discuss this later. Mrs. Calloway, please disregard any alarming statements until we've had a chance to clear things up. After he left, Mrs. Calloway turned to me. He's calling your wife right now, isn't he? Almost certainly. So what's your plan, young man? I pulled out my phone. First, I'm calling a friend who can help us make this official. Officer Reyes sat across from me in the police station, reviewing the evidence Eliza had compiled. His serious expression had grown increasingly grim with each page. This is extensive, Mr. Chen, he said finally. Financial crimes against the elderly are taken very seriously. We'll need statements from the victims. I've spoken with 5 of them already, I replied. They're all willing to talk. He nodded. Good. We'll also need... The station door burst open and Mia stormed in, Marcus trailing behind her, her eyes locked on me. Atticus, what the hell do you think you're doing? She demanded, marching toward us. Officer Reyes stood. Mrs. Chen, please lower your voice. I want to know why my husband is spreading lies about me and my business. Her face was flushed with anger, but I could see the fear beneath it. They're not lies, Mia, I said quietly. I have the evidence right here. Evidence? What evidence? Marcus told me you've been harassing our clients. Marcus stepped forward. Officer, this is a misunderstanding. We manage accounts for elderly clients who sometimes get confused about their finances. 15 confused clients, I challenged, all with the same pattern of unauthorized withdrawals? You had no right to look at those accounts, Mia hissed. Actually, ma'am, Officer Reyes interjected, the bank initiated an internal investigation after suspicious activity was flagged. Your husband came forward with additional information. This is ridiculous, she sputtered. Those are legitimate transfers. With forged signatures? I pushed the power of attorney documents toward her. Mrs. Calloway confirmed she never signed this. Mia's expression shifted subtly. Atticus, honey, let's talk about this at home. There's a perfectly reasonable explanation. Don't honey me, I replied coldly. Not after stealing from vulnerable people who trusted you. It wasn't stealing, it was creative accounting, Marcus offered lamely. Officer Reyes raised an eyebrow. Is that what we're calling fraud and elder abuse these days? Mia's demeanor changed instantly. I want a lawyer. I'm not saying another word. That's probably wise, Officer Reyes agreed, because we're placing you both under arrest. As another officer began reading them their rights, Mia glared at me. I can't believe you do this to me, Atticus, after everything we've been through. Me? What about what you did to those people, to us? It wasn't supposed to affect us, she cried. It was just easy money from people who wouldn't miss it. Easy money? These people worked their entire lives for that money. You don't understand the pressure I was under, the lifestyle we wanted. Don't you dare blame this on me. I cut her off. I never asked for a lifestyle built on stealing from the elderly. Atticus, please. Her voice softened desperately. I'm your wife. We can work through this. I'll make it right, I promise. I'll pay it all back. It's too late for promises, Mia. You can't just throw away 5 years of marriage. I'm not the one who threw it away, I replied as the officers led her toward the processing area. You did that all by yourself. Marcus looked back at me. This isn't over, Atticus. She's your wife. You have obligations. My only obligation was to the truth, I answered, and to the people you victimized. As they disappeared through the door, Officer Reyes placed a hand on my shoulder. That couldn't have been easy. Actually, I said, surprising myself, it was easier than I expected. 6 months later, I sat across from Mrs. Calloway in her apartment as she reviewed the settlement statement from the bank. Full restitution, she said with satisfaction. I never thought I'd see this money again. The bank didn't want a scandal, I explained. Easier to make everyone whole than face a lawsuit. And what about those two? She asked. Your wife and that smooth-talking partner of hers? Marcus took a plea deal, 3 years plus probation. Mia refused any deals, insisted she could beat the charges. How did that work out for her? 7 years for fraud, elder abuse, and identity theft. No parole for at least 5. Derek arrived, no longer in his gas station uniform, but dressed in business attire. Sorry I'm late. First day at the new job ran long. How was it? I asked. Amazing. Never thought I'd be working at a bank, but Eliza's recommendation made all the difference. Speaking of Eliza, she appeared in the doorway carrying pastries. The hero arrives with sustenance. As we shared coffee, Eliza nudged me. I heard Mia tried to contact you again. Another letter claiming she did it for our future. Did you read it? No, returned it unopened like all the others. Mrs. Calloway looked at me over her glasses. Forgiveness can be healing, you know. So can justice, I countered. Besides, I'm not the one she needs to apologize to. Well, I forgive her, Mrs. Calloway said, surprising me. Not because she deserves it, but because holding on to anger takes too much energy at my age. Later, as Eliza and I walked to our cars, my phone buzzed, a text from Marcus. Mia wants to talk. Says she has something important to tell you. One last meeting? I showed Eliza the message. What are you going to do? She asked. I typed no and hit send. Moving forward, I answered, pocketing my phone. Just moving forward. You know, Eliza said hesitantly, not everyone will betray your trust like she did. I know, some people prove their loyalty when it matters most. She smiled, and for a moment I glimpsed a possible future, built on honesty rather than deception. So, I asked, Dinner Friday? I'd like that, she replied. As I drove home, I thought about how a single note from a stranger had unraveled my life and then somehow put it back together in a new configuration, one that felt more authentic than what came before. What would you do if a simple piece of paper changed everything you thought you knew? Sometimes the hardest truths lead to the most important discoveries about ourselves and those we choose to trust.